כה אמר אדוני צבאות, קינאתי לציון, קנאה גדולה וחמה גדולה קינאתי לה. Thus says Adonai Tzevaot, I am zealous for Zion, with great zeal, with great fervor I am zealous for her. Thus says Adonai, I will return to Zion and dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem shall be called the city of truth, the mountain of Adonai Tzevaot, the holy mountain. Zechariah 8 verses 2 and 3. Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, commemorates the reunification of Jerusalem under Jewish sovereignty in 1967. It is celebrated on the 28th day of the second biblical month called Ziv, 6 weeks after Pesach and 1 week before Shavuot. Jerusalem became the capital of the Jewish people at the time of King David, who conquered it and made it the place of his monarchy, approximately in the year 1000 before Yeshua. It was conquered twice in antiquity, the second time by the Romans in 70 AD. The destruction of Jerusalem was a watershed moment in Jewish history that ushered in thousands of years of mourning for Jerusalem, including an official day of mourning every year on Tisha B'Av. During the 2 millennia of exile that followed, Jerusalem remained the spiritual capital of the Jews. To this day, our people in the diaspora turn toward Jerusalem to pray, and Jewish services are filled with references to Jerusalem. However, there was never a special day in honor of the city until recently. After the Israeli War of Independence in 1948, the city of Jerusalem was divided, with the ancient eastern side under Jordanian control and the more recently developed western side under Israeli control. On the third day of the Six-Day War in June 1967, the Israeli army captured the former eastern part of the city. The 1967 victory marked the first time in thousands of years that all of Jerusalem had come under Jewish control. It also allowed our people access to the holiest parts of the city, especially the Kotel, the Western Wall, the remnant of the ancient temple. Jerusalem is mentioned 667 times in the Tanakh and 144 times in the Brit Hadashah. She is several times described in the Bible as the Lord's bride. Isaiah 62 verses 4 and 5. You shall no longer be termed forsaken, nor shall your land any more be termed desolate. But you shall be called Hephzibah. My delight is in her, and your land Beulah, married. For the Lord delights in you, and your land shall be married. For as a young man marries a virgin, so shall your sons marry you. And as the bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall your God rejoice over you. There is a marriage between the children of Jerusalem and the city of Jerusalem, and a marriage between the children and the city to God Himself. When God refers to Jerusalem, He does not refer only to streets and stones, but to a people that He chose through Abraham and made a covenant with us. The reconquest of Jerusalem by our people is a sign and a preparation for Yeshua's return as bridegroom to his bride, who will receive him, saying, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Adonai. Revelation 21 verses 2 and 3. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God. John 3, verse 29. He who has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, this joy of mine is fulfilled. John the Baptist was a friend of the bridegroom. He came to prepare the way for Messiah, Yeshua. And you, are you a friend of the groom? How have you prepared the way for the return of Messiah, King Yeshua? He will return to his bride, Jerusalem, to his people who will be in Israel, and will receive him with those grafted into the olive tree. How has your love been for the Jerusalem bride, the city and the people? As we mentioned at the beginning, in the book of Zechariah, God says that he watches over Jerusalem and is jealous of her with great fury. The prophet Ezekiel had a vision reported in chapter 9. Let's read verses 3 to 6. Now, the glory of the God of Israel had gone up from the cherub where it had been to the threshold of the temple. And he called to the men clothed with linen, who had the writer's inkhorn at his side. And the Lord said to him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and cry over all the abominations that are done within it. To the others, he said in my hearing, Go after him through the city and kill. Do not let your eyes spare, nor have any pity. Utterly slay old and young, men, maidens, and little children and women. But do not come near anyone on whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. So they began with the elders who were before the temple. In this vision, we see there is a man clothed with linen, and he put a mark on the foreheads of people who would cry for the abominations that were done in Jerusalem. They would suffer with that. And they were spared from death because they had this mark. They were the only one that were spared. So my question is, do we have this mark? Would we have this mark on our foreheads? Do we really cry and suffer over the sins and abominations done in Jerusalem? What do you feel when you see that golden dome, the Dome of the Rock, in the center of Jerusalem on the Temple Mount? Do you think it's a beautiful thing and you take a picture in front of it, or you understand that it's an abomination before God? For there, the God of death has been worshipped, the God who's mentioned by the terrorists seconds before they shed Jewish blood on the ground. Back to Isaiah 62, verses 6, 7, and 10. I have set watchmen on your walls, O Jerusalem. They shall never hold their peace day and night. You who make mention of the Lord, do not keep silent and give him no rest till he establishes and till he makes Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Go through the gates, prepare the way for the people, build up the highway, take out the stones, lift up a banner for the peoples. Let us be like John the Baptist. the friend of the bridegroom. Let us be zealous for his bride. Let us be zealous for the Jewish people and the holy city. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach.